Let's talk about a different kind of brainwashing. Not the sinister, movie villain kind of mind control, but a powerful, deliberate way you can reprogram your own mind for success. But first, let's get real for a second with a question that probably hits a little too close to home for a lot of us. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you know exactly what you should be doing, so why is it so hard to actually, well, do it? Look, if that feels familiar, you're not alone. This isn't some personal failing or a sign that you're lazy. It's a very real psychological trap called the knowing-doing gap. It's that frustrating place where all our good intentions and smart plans just seem to fizzle out. So, what's really going on in our heads? Well, it turns out your brain is hardwired for one thing above all else: keeping you safe. And learning feels incredibly productive. It gives you a little hit of dopamine, it feels like you're making progress, but without any of the messy, real-world risk of actually failing. And this leads directly to something we've all felt: analysis paralysis. It's that feeling of being totally frozen. You've researched so much, planned so much, that you're overwhelmed, and you do nothing. Your brain is hitting the emergency brake to keep you in that safe, comfortable learning zone. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we get out of this trap? Well, the answer isn't to just try harder. It's not about more willpower. It's about using a smarter approach, a framework to systematically reprogram the way our mind works. And here it is, a simple 4-step process. Think of it like installing new software for your brain. First, we think it to create the mental blueprint. Then, we speak it to give it power. Next, we act to make it real. And finally, we get results, which creates this amazing feedback loop that locks in the change for good. Let's break down each one. All right, let's dive into the nuts and bolts of how to actually rewire your brain. We're going to start with step 1, and it might be the most surprising one: creating the mental blueprint before you even lift a finger. This is where things get really cool. The science is clear on this. When you vividly imagine yourself doing something, your brain lights up in many of the exact same ways as when you're physically doing it. You are, quite literally, practicing without moving a muscle. And if you think that sounds a bit out there, get this. In a famous study, a group of basketball players who only visualized making free throws improved their accuracy by 23%. That is almost identical to the 24% improvement from the group that only physically practiced. That's not magic, that's neuroscience. Okay, so once you have that mental movie playing, we build on it with step 2, the words you use. Vague wishes like, "I want to be successful," are kind of useless to your brain. But when you switch to powerful present tense statements like, "I am resourceful," you're actually using neuroplasticity to strengthen the neural pathways that support this new identity. You're building new roads in your brain. And now, step 3, action. This right here is the great paradox that trips almost everyone up. We wait around hoping to feel motivated so we can start. But the secret is, motivation doesn't cause action. Action creates motivation. The hardest part is almost never the work itself. It's just getting started. So how do you manufacture that initial spark? Here are 3 incredibly simple but really powerful tools. You've got the 2-minute rule, which makes any new habit ridiculously easy to start. You've got implementation intentions, which basically automate your decisions ahead of time. And the 5-second countdown, a simple trick to stop overthinking and just move. Let's just zoom in on implementation intentions for a sec, because these are a game changer. They use this simple if-then format that preloads your decision. So instead of vaguely hoping you'll write today, you create a specific trigger. When X happens, I will do Y. Studies show this one little tweak makes you dramatically more likely to actually do the thing. Okay, taking individual actions is great, but now we're moving from one-off tactics to a long-term strategy. The real goal here isn't to just try hard every day. It's to build a system where taking the right action becomes automatic, the default setting. And here is the most crucial shift you need to make. Stop focusing on outcomes and start focusing on identity. An outcome goal, like I want to lose 20 pounds, is fragile. But an identity goal, like I want to become the type of person who doesn't miss workouts, that changes everything. It changes how you see yourself. I absolutely love this concept. Think about it this way. Every time you choose the salad, you're casting a vote for I am a healthy person. Every time you write just one page, you're casting a vote for I am a writer. These small votes, day after day, are what build an undeniable identity. And those small votes, man, they compound in some pretty incredible ways. This shows you that consistency always beats intensity. Reading just 10 pages a day, it feels like nothing. But over a year, you've suddenly read 12 books. These tiny, seemingly insignificant daily wins are the bedrock of huge results. A key part of your system is managing your mental energy. There's a reason guys like Barack Obama and Steve Jobs famously wore the same thing every day. They were eliminating decision fatigue. Every single choice you make, no matter how small, drains your battery. So you automate the small stuff to save your best energy for the things that really move the needle. Okay, let's bring all of this home. The goal here isn't just to check more things off a to-do list. It's to fundamentally transform yourself into a person who takes consistent, meaningful action. So, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Stop trying to muscle through everything with willpower. That's like trying to swim upstream. Instead, become an architect. Design a system and an environment around you where doing the right thing is actually the easiest choice. Ultimately, your brain is just a very sophisticated computer, and it's going to run whatever program you install on it. If the current program is based on hesitation and seeking comfort, well, that's the result you're going to get. This whole framework, it's just about giving your brain a software update, one that's programmed for action. So this all comes down to one simple question for you. Not for tomorrow, not for next week, but for right now. Based on the person you're deciding to become, what is one small, simple action, one single vote that you'll cast for that new identity today?